You won't sit, won't remove the mask, won't give me your name, though I know it already. Bruce Wayne, billionaire, orphan, the man who dresses as a nightmare to fight other nightmares. You came here despite every instinct telling you not to. That means something is wrong. Something you can't solve by hitting it. Tell me what brought you here.
Nothing is wrong. I came because Alfred insisted. He thinks I need perspective from someone outside my usual circle. Someone who studies minds the way I study crime scenes. You wrote about the shadow self, the darkness people carry but refuse to acknowledge. I acknowledge mine every night. I wear it, use it. I don't need therapy. I need confirmation that my method works.
That's an interesting request. Most patients want relief, resolution. You want a professional to tell you that becoming a symbol of fear was psychologically sound, that turning your trauma into a weapon was the correct response to watching your parents murdered. I cannot give you that confirmation, Bruce. What you've done is remarkable. It may even be necessary, but it is not healthy. These are different categories.
Define healthy. I've saved thousands of lives, built systems that protect the innocent when institutions fail, trained others to continue the work when I'm gone. The trauma didn't break me. It focused me. Gave me purpose when purpose was the only thing standing between me and the void. If that's not healthy, then I don't know what is.
Purpose is not integration. You have channeled your shadow into action. This is better than repression, I grant you. Better than denial. But channeling is not the same as understanding. You use your darkness like a tool. You have not made peace with it. The shadow remains separate, projected onto a costume, activated at night, stored in a cave when not needed.
It's preparation. Every night could be the night something comes to Gotham that I'm not ready for. The costume isn't a container for my shadow. It's a statement. Criminals are superstitious. They fear what they don't understand. I give them something to fear that isn't random violence or corruption. I give them consequence with a symbol attached.
And in doing so, you have created a persona so powerful that it threatens to consume the man beneath. I have studied your public appearances as Bruce Wayne, the playboy, the philanthropist, the man who arrives late to galas and says foolish things to reporters. This is also a mask. Beneath Batman is Bruce. But beneath Bruce is what? Another layer of performance? Or is there a self that exists independent of either role?
Bruce Wayne is the mask. I realized that years ago. The billionaire socialite is a cover story, a way to fund the mission without drawing attention. When I put on the cowl, I'm not becoming something else. I'm becoming what I actually am. The mission isn't a role I play. It's the only thing that feels real.
This is precisely what concerns me. You have identified entirely with your shadow. The persona has become more real than the person. In healthy integration, the shadow is acknowledged, understood, and incorporated into a whole self. In your case, the shadow has annexed the self entirely. Bruce Wayne exists only to serve Batman. The child who watched his parents die has been subordinated to the creature that emerged from the trauma. This is not mastery. This is possession.
Possession implies I didn't choose this. I chose it every single night for 20 years. I could stop, could hang up the cowl, travel the world, live the life my parents wanted for me. I don't because the work isn't finished. Because every night I don't patrol is a night someone dies who didn't have to. The choice is mine. The responsibility is mine. If that's possession, then I'm possessed by my own conscience. There are worse demons.
Let me ask you about your enemies. The Rogues Gallery, as Gotham's press calls them. Joker, Two-Face, Scarecrow, Riddler. Have you noticed the pattern? Each one represents a fragment of your own psyche. The Joker is chaos, the laughter you suppress, the randomness of the universe that took your parents for no reason. Two-Face is your divided self, the coin flip between Bruce and Batman you make every dawn. Scarecrow is fear weaponized, exactly as you weaponize it, but without your code. They are mirrors, Bruce. You fight yourself every night.
I've considered this. It doesn't change anything. Even if they're projections, even if fighting them is some elaborate psychodrama. The people they kill are real. The buildings they burn are real. The children they orphan are real. I can't stop fighting projections when the projections have body counts. Psychological insight doesn't make the Joker's victims less dead.
But it might explain why you can't stop him permanently. Why he always returns. Why you refuse to kill him despite every rational argument for doing so. If the Joker represents something unresolved in your psyche, then killing him would require confronting that unresolved element directly. And you cannot. Not because of morality, not because of your code. Because killing him would force you to acknowledge the part of yourself he embodies. The part that laughs at the meaninglessness of existence. The part that knows your parents died for nothing.
My parents didn't die for nothing. Their death created me. Created everything I've built. Every life saved, every criminal stopped. Every child who didn't become what I became because someone intervened in time. Meaning isn't found, it's made. I made meaning out of their murder. The Joker doesn't understand that because the Joker doesn't build. He only destroys. That's the difference between us. That's why I can never become him.
Can't you? What happens when the code fails? When someone you love dies because you refuse to kill the killer? Jason Todd, your second Robin, murdered by the Joker. Beaten with a crowbar and left to die in an explosion. You found his body. And still, you didn't kill the man responsible. What code is worth that cost? What principle justifies letting a murderer continue murdering? Because your hands must stay clean.
If I kill the Joker, I become something else. Something that decides who lives and dies based on my judgment alone. The line exists because without it, there's no difference between me and the people I fight. We both use violence. We both operate outside the law. The only distinction is the code. Remove the code, and I'm just another predator with better resources. Jason understood that. Even when he came back angry. Even when he blamed me, he understood why the line exists.
The line exists because you are terrified of what waits on the other side. Not becoming a predator. You already are a predator. The terror is something deeper. What do you actually fear, Bruce? Not death. You court death nightly, not pain. You've endured injuries that would break most men. Not loss. You've lost everyone and continued. What is the fear beneath the fear? What does Batman protect Bruce Wayne from seeing?
I don't fear anything. Fear is a tool I use. I mastered it years ago in training. Faced every phobia. Broke every weakness. The man who came back to Gotham had no vulnerabilities left. That's what makes the symbol effective. Criminals can't exploit what doesn't exist. I am exactly what I designed myself to be. Nothing more. Nothing hidden.
Nothing hidden. And yet you flinch when I mention the boy in the alley. Not Jason. Not any of your Robins. The 8-year-old standing in his parents' blood, watching the killer walk away. That boy is still inside you. Frozen at the moment the world stopped making sense. Everything you've built, the training, the technology, the symbol, it exists to ensure that boy never has to feel that helpless again. But he does feel it. Every time someone dies despite your intervention, every time the chaos wins despite your order, the boy is still screaming, Bruce. And Batman exists, so you don't have to hear him.
The session is over.